Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever set your alarm for 5 a.m. with big plans, big dreams, a promise to yourself that tomorrow would be different, and then the alarm goes off? You open one eye, your body feels heavy, your mind whispers, just 5 more minutes, and suddenly it's 7:30. Guilt hits you before your feet even touch the floor. You've heard it all before. Wake up early, be disciplined, change your life. Successful people wake up early. CEOs wake up early. Athletes wake up early. So why is it that most people try for a few days, maybe a week, and then quietly return to the same life they swore they would escape? Today, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to shout at you. And I'm definitely not here to tell you to try harder. I want to tell you a story about what actually happens when someone takes control of the first hour of their day. Stay with me until the end, because this story might change how you look at tomorrow morning. His name was Marcus. Marcus was 35 years old. Every night at 7 p.m., while most of the city was heading home, Marcus was just starting his shift. He worked at a massive distribution warehouse, loading and unloading heavy boxes under fluorescent lights that never turned off, freezing in the winter, sweating in the summer, always rushing, always tired. His hands were rough. His back hurt all the time. Some nights his legs shook before the shift even ended. Marcus wasn't lazy. He didn't complain. He didn't skip work. He showed up every single night and did what had to be done. But when his shift ended around 5:30 a.m. and he stepped outside into the cold morning air, he felt something worse than physical pain. He felt invisible. People walked past him on their way to work, clean clothes, fresh faces, coffee in hand, while he walked home smelling of dust and sweat, wondering if this was all his life would ever be. Marcus wasn't failing, he was surviving. And deep down, that scared him, because he started to believe that survival might be the best he would ever get. One night, halfway through his shift, Marcus's phone vibrated in his pocket. It was his younger sister. Marcus, Dad collapsed at work. Everything inside him froze. Their father had spent his whole life doing physical labor. Construction sites, long hours, no safety net. At the hospital, the doctor spoke calmly, but the message was clear. Exhaustion, stress, years of pushing without rest. Marcus sat beside his father's bed as machines hummed quietly in the background. His father opened his eyes and looked at him for a long moment. Then he spoke softly, as if he didn't want the words to hurt too much. "Son, I spent my whole life being strong for everyone else. I worked, I endured, I waited. I kept telling myself, one day things will get better. But one day never came. Please, don't wake up at my age and realize your life was only work and waiting. Promise me you'll build something before your body gives out like mine." Marcus couldn't answer, because in that moment, he wasn't just looking at his father. He was looking at his future. At 4:57 a.m., Marcus stepped out of the hospital. The automatic doors closed quietly behind him. The sky was still dark, but the night was already losing its grip. The parking lot was almost empty. A few lights flickered. An ambulance sat silent in the distance. The city hadn't woken up yet. No traffic, no horns, no voices. Marcus stood there for a moment. His father's words were playing in his head. Don't wake up one day and realize your life was only work and waiting. He took a slow breath and started walking down the empty street outside the hospital. That's when he noticed someone. An older man was already awake, slowly sweeping the sidewalk in front of a small cafe across the street. Not tired, just steady. The soft sound of the broom cut through the silence. Marcus slowed down. "Why are you working so early?" he asked. The man looked up and smiled. "I'm not working," he said. "I'm preparing." Marcus didn't get it. The man leaned on his broom and continued, "I opened the cafe at 7, but these hours before sunrise, they belong to me." Marcus looked around. Empty streets, cool morning air, a world that felt untouched. And suddenly, it clicked. This was the only part of the day that wasn't asking anything from him yet. No supervisors, no boxes, no expectations, just time. Not motivation, not excitement. Clarity. If I keep living like this, Marcus thought, nothing in my life will ever change. At exactly 5 a.m., Marcus checked his phone. Standing outside a hospital, with his father fighting exhaustion behind him and the city still asleep in front of him, he made a clear decision. From that morning on, Marcus changed one thing. Every day at 5 a.m., before the world demanded anything from him, he woke up and sat at his small table. He studied, not random motivation, not empty inspiration. He chose accounting and logistics, skills businesses actually needed. Skills that could turn physical labor into knowledge and opportunity. He learned how money moves, how inventory is tracked, how companies really operate. And when the sun began to rise, he trained his body. Simple walks, light workouts, stretching tired muscles, not to look impressive, but to make sure his body wouldn't break one day the way his father's did. The first week was brutal. His alarm rang and every part of him wanted to quit. His mind negotiated. Just today. You're exhausted. You deserve rest. But he remembered the hospital room, so he stood up. The first 10 days felt pointless. No results, no breakthroughs. Around day 20, waking up stopped feeling like punishment. Around day 40, the lessons started making sense. By day 87, Marcus applied what he'd learned at work. Small improvements, better systems, clearer thinking. People noticed. Opportunities followed, not overnight, but step by step. 1 year later, Marcus still wasn't famous, but his life looked completely different. He had completed multiple certifications. He had skills his workplace desperately needed, skills no one else wanted to take the time to learn. His role at the warehouse changed, then his income changed, then his future changed. His body felt stronger, his mind felt sharper. For the first time in his adult life, Marcus felt in control. And every morning at 5 a.m., he still woke up, not because he had to, but because those hours had quietly rebuilt his life. Here's the truth. Waking up at 5 a.m. doesn't make you successful. It makes you available to build success before the world takes your time. So tonight, set your alarm, not to suffer, but to invest. Your future doesn't need motivation. It needs one quiet hour. Will you wake up?